What's up, YouTube family and Browns fans everywhere? This is Cleveland Football, and I'm your host, Terrence Hudson. Okay, all right, so let's hop into it. By now, I think we all know about the events that took place at the end of the game Thursday night. A game that the Browns won 21-7 over the Pittsburgh Steelers. Talk about the fight between Myles Garret and Mason Rudolph. It's unfortunate. To hit a guy over the head with a helmet, it's just flat out wrong. I see Myles Garrett's been suspended for the remainder of the season. Okay, that's fine. We saw the guys get involved in the fight. Ogunjobi, Pouncey also been suspended. All right. Another aspect that I wasn't looking at under my original thoughts, because I saw a lot of knee-jerk reactions after the game, and I'll get into those as well. But last night, I went to church, get my praise and worship on, and I'm talking to one of the elders, and he made a great point as he talked about what that looks like to the kids, to children, young guys or young ladies seeing it coming up, and you see somebody you might look up to or admire, and conduct themselves in that manner, and the level of violence, that we saw. And I get that and I understand that, and it's embarrassing. It was a great night for Cleveland, a great win, and all was well until the last 8 seconds of the game, which pretty much, the fight pretty much overshadows the game, and it steals the headline. I thought this win could propel us, into a run, and it still can. It still can if we can stay together. But I do want to look at this situation in its totality, and I think, again, I said it was a lot of knee-jerk reactions after the game, based on what people saw. People say, I've never seen anything like this ever before. And okay. But here's what I saw. Because when you look at it, if you look at the articles, if you look at a lot of the film, you look at the segments, the takes, it starts with Myles Garret coming over and swinging the helmet. That's what it starts with, okay? But I want to look at this situation in its totality, all right? Because here's what I saw. I saw Garrett Rudolph drop back the pass. He throws the ball, all right? Myles Garret has him in the grasp, which is all in a legal play at this point. This is still legal. I don't even think he saw that he threw the ball. Even if he did see it, he was still within the grasp of him. That wasn't illegal. He's taking him down to the ground, which he can. He wasn't leaning over, power driving him, or coming down with all his body weight. He was pulling him, which I see him do often. He's a strong guy. He's strong enough to pull guys down. Mason Rudolph is 6'4", 6'5", 240 pounds. He's not no little guy. All right. I think Rudolph was frustrated. One, he's frustrated. They're losing. He's thrown 4 interceptions. He played horribly. All right. Garrett has him on the ground, or he's on over top of him. Rudolph, frustrated, upset. To me, it's like he threw a tantrum. You know how he did a scrappy dude type of thing, or you hold your little brother or little nephew back and they like, oh, let me at him. He's trying to pull Garrett's helmet off. All right. And I think when he was trying to pull Garrett's helmet off, Garrett's head is down, and when you're trying to reach up, if somebody was pulling your head down while you're trying to reach up, hey, I think Garrett just lost it at that point. Oh, you want to pull helmets. And he proceeded to just snatch Rudolph's helmet off and take it from him. All bad. You can't conduct yourself in that way. But that's what he did. When he got his helmet off of him, he stepped back. Rudolph gets up. He proceeds to charge at him, and you can see it. He had that fury in his eyes. He's charging at him, and Garrett just came over top. Boop! And to me, that's what I saw as that's what I saw. That's what I saw. And again, it was wrong. All right. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. He could have been seriously hurt. He could have. If he'd have caught him with the right part of the helmet, he could have seriously injured him, or worse, he could have seriously injured him. But here's where I have some problems. And it's mainly with, the knee-jerk reactions, but really it put guys on the spot. And you could see some guys would temper their response. I'm not going to say any names. You can go back and watch them. Some guys would temper their response like, hey, it's unfortunate, kind of stand in the middle or whatnot. And then some guys go all out is, oh, this is horrible. It was horrible. This is the worst thing that I've ever seen. And just made it like Mason Rudolph was skipping along the playground, licking his lollipop, and Myles Garret jumped from behind the sliding board. Give me a lollipop, punk! And then boom, bam him over the head. When we know that wasn't the case. This was a progression. This was a build-up. It wasn't just Garret just all out. Just I want to kill this man. Like, no. We saw what happened. It was a fight, and the fight got out of hand. We saw that. And then and what made it worse for me is guys who would comment that I know has a history of, altercations or things happening on the field or on the practice field. I'm not talking about anything off the field, but has engaged in violence on the field or even on the practice field. And you come in with a level of condemnation without, any level of grace, or as to say, man, I've been in situations like this. I've done some things that I wish I wouldn't have done in the past. This or that. That's the problem that I have. And I'm guilty. I done been there before. I work with young people. I've worked with young people my whole life, all the way from kindergarten to college students. I've worked with. And even working with college students, you work with freshmen or sophomores, and you might have a mentoring or advising a student who's not doing well and they doing things. And I'm like, man, what is you doing? What is you thinking? You're not going to class. You got this great opportunity, this, that, and the third. And then I'm talking to my wife, and we talk, and then she look at me, she's like, okay, you can't forget that the same thing that kid is doing or that student is doing, you was that student at one point, before you got your act together. I'm like, I had to put things in perspective and remember that. And I just felt some guys came at him with just all out, condemnation and no grace. But it's not their job to. So, a lot of these guys are beholden to a network, and they have to think about, the things that they say, which I get, I understand it, and you're put on the spot right then and there to give a take. So you figure you go with the take that's just, will be on the totally politically correct side, which you see, but I saw some guys stepped out early. Like, look, okay, I could see it from, from two perspectives, or I got a healthy level of understanding of what's going on here. And that was James Jones and Willie McGinnis on the NFL Network. They said it from jump, like, hey, this was started out as a fight. They said that. And some of these guys is going to say, I've never seen anything like this a day in my life. I don't get that. Because if you've been around this game long enough, you'll see some crazy things. Even I myself, I started playing organized football when I was 12 years old. My last season of organized football, I think I was 28 or so. And all those years, from Muni League or Little League, high school, college football, semi-pro football, arena football. I've seen some crazy things, man. I saw a guy bring a knife to practice one day. He into it with some guys at practice, and I guess he felt like that next day he was going to have to come back with something. He brought a knife to practice, and he used it. I'm not gonna say no name or anything like that. He pulled that knife. I don't know where he had it at. If he had it in his pants or his pad or shirt, tucked somewhere, but he had a knife to practice. I'm not lying. I've seen a team come out for a game a normal first half, you playing the game. One of the teams go in at halftime, only to find out that, during the course of the first half, somebody that went into the locker room, stole all their possessions, phones, clothes, money, while they come charging out the locker room, charging at the opposing team, thinking they had something to do with it. Like, what you mean? We was out here playing the game with y'all the first half. How would we go be in the locker room stealing y'all things and we playing the game? Like, just crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. I've seen crazy fights in practice. I've seen a guy in practice, right? Offensive player duking it out with a defensive player. The offensive player getting the best of him. The defensive guys come over to help their defensive guy who getting beat up. Guy goes, grab the offensive player, yanks his head back. I don't know how his chin strap, this has to be the strongest chin strap known to man. His helmet didn't come off, but I saw his head go all the way back, almost 180-degree angle. His head almost got turned back. I don't know if y'all remember, you're old enough, you remember the old Reach commercials, the old Reach toothbrush. Say, we reach to the back of your mouth. And you say, okay, would you rather have a Reach toothbrush or a flip-top head? That thing head go back. He gave him a flip-top head. This was in practice. I've seen some of the most mild-mannered dudes lose it in practice. And I'm talking about, good friend, guys that didn't curse or anything. He lost it. He wasn't cursing or nothing. I've been waiting for you, sucker. I've been waiting for you, job check. I've been waiting for you. Like, good, mild-mannered, church-going brother. I've been waiting for you, sucker. He lost it, and it's a fight. It's a fight. I've seen a coach, a ref he was cheating. He was cheating for the other team. He was. And a coach got so upset, he went on the field and just boop, 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 boop. 2-piece, 3-piece the ref. Blood falling everywhere. And this around kids. Two teams, they meet up in the middle of the field and they getting ready to go at it. And I'm like, whoa. Helmets flying. I'm not saying this, telling you these things to, as to condone, the actions of Myles Garret or the fight at the end of the game. But some of these guys getting on and say, I've never seen anything. Like, you are lying. If you've been around this game long enough, you will see some crazy stuff. It just so happened that this was on national televised game, an NFL football game, and a lot of people were watching. And it's news. It's gonna happen. It was egregious. It happened. But let's be for real on some of this. Some of these guys is, what they takes in their commentary. I just couldn't take it. I just couldn't take it. I thought that, Mike Tomlin's comments after the game or lack thereof was telling. All right. I'm getting thirsty. Y'all got me amped up. Yeah, I thought his lack thereof comments was telling. And I think a part of it was him understanding that this is a rivalry. Okay. And this is a rivalry that has a history and things that have happened, throughout this rivalry that, is not being talked about right now, but things have happened, when it comes to the violence and violent acts on the field. I'm looking at 2010, James Harrison hit on Muhammad Massaquoi, bent him, knocked him sideways. If you see the way he fell over, tried to kill him, right? And speaking of Muhammad Massaquoi, I stumbled on a video of him. I didn't know, it's incredible. If you can find it, I'd say go and watch. Like, he actually lost 4 of his fingers, almost lost his hand in an ATV accident. And it changed his life. So if you ever get a chance to check that out, check that out. Because I wonder what happened to him. But yeah, James Harrison tried to kill him. 2010, James Harrison hit on Joshua Cribbs. Cribbs running the Wildcat, doing something off tackle to the right. Harrison coming down the line, he had a bead on him. Boom! Josh Cribbs said he thought he was asleep. He thought he was at home asleep. Man, what's going on, man? You playing a football game, man. Wake up. Was asleep. 2011. James Harrison hit on Colt McCoy. I thought I don't know how Colt McCoy's head just didn't pop off the way he hit him. McCoy running toward the left. He about to, before he get to the line, he about to dump it off. And James Harrison hit him. His head popped up the way I saw it. I don't know how his chin strap didn't come loose. I don't know how his neck, I don't know how his vertebrae stayed intact with his head and neck connected to the rest of his spine. I don't know the way he hit him. And Colt McCoy just laid out. Like, these are things that have happened in this rivalry, right? And I think we forget about this. And not just even in the Browns rivalry, when it comes to Pittsburgh. Look, was it 2009? Ryan Clark tried to decapitate Willis McGahee. Laid him out and fans cheered. Like, I think we forget. But I understand that, since those things have happened, there has been great measures taken to make the game safer, especially on defenseless players and attacking players around head and around the neck. All right. I understand that, and that's needed. It should be nobody out there trying to hurt people, trying to intentionally hurt people, going at head or neck, because you could be seriously injured. You could be paralyzed. You could be anything could happen, man. You could be, sustain lifelong injuries, life-changing injuries from some of those hits. And we talk about concussion, so I get all those things, and I get those protections. And those measures being taken in order to make the game safer. And I think the game is better for it. But with that, we can't act like that this isn't a bitter rivalry with a history. And you might say, oh, those things was made 19. These things, man, stuff linger on. I mean, you go back to the 70s and the 80s. I mean, you look when Terry Bradshaw got slammed on his head. Like, these things still carry on. You can't do that no more, but these are things that have happened, in this rivalry and in this game. But I hope it's something that, we all can learn from. Especially, I hope, Myles Garret, something that he can learn from, because it's going to cost him. It definitely hurts the team. It's a bad look, for the team, for the league in general. And I'm hoping that we all could learn from it. We all could, look at this game and look at it in a different way, and even knowing I might be trying to do my best to break your will or to dominate you on the field, but at the end of the game and at the end of the day, you're a man just like I am, and I want to see what's best for you and your life and your family, and try to keep that human aspect to it. But it's a tough thing. Looking ahead, looking at our Browns schedule, like I said, we have a favorable schedule going forward. Even got the Dolphins coming up, got the Steelers again, got the Bengals, Cardinals. Should be a showdown with the Ravens, and then the Bengals again. We're in a position to make a run. Hopefully we can. And I'm hoping, with the extra day or two, this is a time to come together, stay together as a team. We'll have to work even that much more harder. We'll have to practice better, practice harder, watch more film, study more, learn more, do more to pick each other up, because we will have to pick up the slack. And who knows, maybe this could draw us closer together. You hated for it to be a situation like this to draw you closer together. But I hope that it can. All right, so that's my take. You can let me know what you think. You can tell me if I'm right, if I'm wrong, or just whatever you think. Be sure to drop in the comment section. Hit the like button if you like it. And be sure to subscribe.